Happy Sunday to you. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade. It's that time of the afternoon where you find out what's happening in the tropics and still a few systems that we are monitoring out there. Of course, we are about to spring into November, which is the final month of our hurricane season for this year. And we have not been hit by any tropical systems for Houston or the rest of Southeast Texas for this season. So we are very fortunate. Hopefully we can get through the next month without being hit by anything tropical, and that would be great because by then the season would be over. But it has been a fairly busy season. We've had several named storms, about 20 named storms. Of course, the busiest portion of hurricane season typically around August, September, the first part of October, but now we're getting towards the end of October. We're about to head into November, and typically the action out there in the tropics starts to kind of fade and wind down, but we do still have a few systems that we are tracking. We did have Hurricane Tammy, then Tropical Storm Tammy, but Tammy is now post-tropical. So the last advisory was issued for Tammy earlier today. So Tammy was east of Bermuda, but it is basically dissipating. It's lost its tropical characteristics, and so we can say goodbye to Tammy. But we do have another system that we're monitoring. This is in the southwestern Atlantic. This is Invest 96L. Now this is a tropical wave at this point. You can see the convection, the bright areas of yellow and red, the showers and storms, fairly disorganized now, very close to Puerto Rico and also to the east of the Bahamas. Now we did have hurricane hunters fly into this earlier today, and they basically said that it didn't really seem like it was that organized, so they're not super concerned about it blowing up and becoming a tropical storm or hurricane very quickly, but there's still a 60% chance that this could develop into our next tropical system, a tropical depression or tropical storm over the next couple of days. So it is certainly one to watch, as it is expected to get a little bit closer to the U.S. As you can see, it is generally pushing to the north and west, so there's a shot it could make it closer to the east coast of the U.S., and there is that 60% chance for tropical cyclone formation within the next 48 hours and within the next week. Now the chances with this system are much higher in the next few days. Conditions in the atmosphere are more favorable if it happens in the next 1 to 2 days. After that, it looks like it will have a harder time to develop, but it is still possible, so we are going to watch that one closely. Also still monitoring this area in the central and western Caribbean. Not much going on now, but the models are indicating that a broad area of low pressure may develop here over the next few days, and there will be a low chance as it drifts west towards Central America that it could become a tropical system as well. So we've got two areas that we're monitoring, one in the southwestern Atlantic and one in the southwestern Caribbean, and those areas could be our next tropical systems. Now good news for us and the Gulf of Mexico, things remain quiet for now, but we do have more action in the eastern Pacific, where we've had a lot of action over these last several weeks. Eastern Pacific hurricane season has been extremely busy this season, and it continues. We do have tropical depression number 19E. You can see it here south of Guatemala. It is expected to strengthen into a tropical storm over the next couple of days and push to the north. So it is expected to make landfall by the middle of the week in parts of Central America, likely around El Salvador. And the main threat with this will be some very heavy rain that could lead to some flooding issues for portions of Central America. So you can see Guatemala City there, San Salvador. So this is going to be a threat for parts of Central America, especially by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now switching back to the Atlantic basin, the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, and the Atlantic. As I mentioned earlier, it has been a super busy season. We've had about 20 named storms. We've gone all the way from Arlene at the beginning of the season down to Tammy, which dissipated earlier today. And we do still have two additional names on the list, Vince and Whitney. So if that system in the southwestern Atlantic and if that system in the Caribbean Sea develops, then we could have Vince and or Whitney over the next couple of days, and that would be all of the names on our list for this season. So it has certainly been a busy one for this hurricane season. 20 named storms, 6 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes. In an average season, we would have about 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. So we are definitely above average for those named storms, near average for our hurricanes, but we are hoping that we won't have to deal with too many more of these systems as we go into the next couple of weeks, the next 4 weeks or so, because after that, hurricane season would be over. But this is the concern. In the Gulf of Mexico, in the Caribbean, in the Atlantic, those sea surface temperatures out there are still super warm. And of course, this very warm water acts to fuel these potential tropical systems as they develop and move over this warm water. They can quickly blow up and become very dangerous hurricanes. So for that reason, we're telling you, don't let your guard down. We may have been spared in Southeast Texas and in Houston so far this season, but there's always the shot that there could still be some tropical development, at least all the way through the end of our hurricane season. So we've got to watch it closely for at least another month or so, and then hopefully by then we'll be out of the woods and we could say we were spared for another season. Also, you can keep track of anything happening in the tropics by making sure to have our Fox 26 weather app downloaded on your phone. You can head to the App Store, search for Fox 26, and you can find out all of the tropical information for any systems that we have. And of course, your local weather, which is going to be on the topsy-turvy side with those temperatures crashing tonight and with that chance for rain. So you can keep track of radar and everything happening with the tropics. Well, that will do it for your Sunday tropical update. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade. Have a great rest of your weekend. And remember, it is about to get cold in Houston, so make sure that you bundle up.